what's up, guys? Welcome back to Kuma Style Reviews. We're taking a look at Sentinel, their Amakuni Kizin line. Amakuni Kizin line. There we go. Amakuni Kizin. I can read. They're King J. Dur. So this is a character from the Brave series. If you watch Gal Gagar, you've seen it in there. And this is it. This is right here. It's King J. Dur form. So J. Dur, its own bot. If you're a Transformers fan, think about it like Cerebros to Fort Max. He forms the head, parts forming, it becomes its own bot. We'll go over that. But combined with, this is called the J Carrier, it can either become King J. Dur. Well, they're both King J. Dur, but King J. Dur has both big robot mode as well as a big huge carrier mode. Now, the individual J. Dur, it also has its own mode, its own alt mode called the Jaybird mode. You see it in head mode right here, but it's also a little mini carrier type ship. That's going to involve some parts forming and whatnot too. So yeah, what we have in the box, big old stand, big old base, big old stand, as well as you can plug in this head for the carrier mode, but it just doesn't look right. There's mass shifting and stuff like that in the cartoon, just like Transformers and the like. It just comes with that super robot type territory. So this is a more anime accurate head for the alt mode. Same with the front. It's a lot larger in its alt mode than it is in its robot mode. Its weapon, it's like a bow type deal, clips into its forearm. These two pieces are stands for the carrier mode, as well as a stand piece here, like a hook class figure arts type thing for the individual J. Dur mode. This here, another anime accurate piece. It's a cover for the arms. When it's all attached in its carrier mode, you'll see it. So yeah, we'll go over all of this stuff, instructions and little tidbits on how to get the feet swung out when it's out of the box. Basically, the feet are on a hinge. They pull out. We'll go over that too. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get this started, man. It's a lot of bot. This thing is incredible. Already a front runner for my toy of the year. It's going to be hard for this one to get beaten. And I'm not just saying that because I really have no just plain bias or ties to Brave series, Gal Gagar. Love them, but not like that. This toy's just that good, and you're about to see. Okay, so I'm sure that you're noticing that this is a very large, imposing type robot. So some robots, even if they're taller in terms of height and stuff like that, they don't give off that big feel. This one is a larger bot with that larger feel. It's pretty cool. So it measures to about 10 3/4 inches tall. If you're looking at these thin pieces here, 11 inches on the dot. So pretty cool. And it is a nice big hefty bot. Lots of die cast through it. Not just like in the joints itself, but all through the torso and the like. When you pick this up, it's not like insanely heavy, uncomfortable, but it definitely has that high quality, just sturdiness to it. So it's nice. Looking through this, all the greebles and lining and stuff like that, it is absolutely fantastic. Etched to death. Really cool stuff. And all of these, using my nails, do pop out as well. And another tidbit in case I forget, is that he has two missile pods on each of his shoulders. You could pop those out, whether it be in robot mode or his carrier mode. Okay? And we've got some time here, so I'm going to raise up this camera and actually go right into the articulation aspect, and we can look over the gimmicks and stuff like that as well, because this has a lot going on, and I don't want to forget it has LEDs and everything like that. So let's go ahead and actually start there. Okay. Brighten this up a bit for you. And first off, we'll go ahead and take a look at the mouth. Mouth does open. Pretty cool. And it also has LEDs. I believe off top, LR41s. There's just a button on the back of his neck. Raise head like that. Big button. Hard to miss. Alright, so that's that. A bit bright, especially on a white background, so I'm going to turn that off for the time being. More pictures of it lit up will be on the gallery, kumastyle.com, of course. Now, articulation. Saw a bit in the head there, saw the jaw. Head is on a ball joint. Put those missile pods down. But you can see it has the side-to-side tilt, up and down. It can 360. The neck itself also is on at least a spin joint. I don't see anything else, so that can swivel as well. Alright, and you can see it has ab crunch back bend already. Not necessarily trying to show it off, but it's what it is. Now the shoulder armor, alright? There is some movement there. Okay. Parallel. It does butterfly. Lots of butterfly. Alright? Partially for the transformation, but hey, take advantage of it, man. 360. These fins, there is a little bit of wiggle to them, but they're not like movable or pullable or anything like that, so watch it. Don't do it thinking they're supposed to whatever. They just don't fit, aren't locked in place super tight. That's it. They can still break. Be careful. Alright? And these joints are so perfect. Just the right amount of friction, man. And they don't feel like ones that are like gonna go loose. I'm not worried about that. Alright, double jointed elbows. And while we're here, both of these turrets, 360, the barrels, up and down, and they can even like move in and out and stuff like that too. So that's pretty cool. Still focusing here. There is rock on the wrist, 360, and all of these fingers individually articulated. Okay. So 3 points of articulation. This only has one. There's a ball joint on the thumb. The thumb itself is on a hinge. So you got that. And then there's one knuckle at the end of the thumb. The rest, hinge. And then 1, 2 knuckles. Alright? And the cool part, they can spread. This needs to be more of a thing. I understand that this is a larger figure with larger hands. Really takes advantage of that Super Robot stuff. You can see the hollow tips on the fingers. That's in part due to the accessory set to be released later. I believe it's up for pre-order now. I don't know if I'm going to get that or not. Alright, so the waist. It does have rock side to side, lots of rock. Good amount of friction to this. And I like that when you look into the figure, like beneath the crotch plate and light, the joints are exposed. So if you feel the need to go ahead, use some joint polish and the like, it's easily accessible. That doesn't happen on a lot of Sentinel products. Alright, so ab crunch. And you can see the ab crunch is activated because he's got that more heroic stance and whatnot. Crotch forward. And because of the transformation, it does actually extend the waist. Alright. I keep popping that head off. Alright. And in terms of waist swivel, 360. And there's one level. This also extends, but that's strictly for the transformation. When it's in robot mode, all of the back bend, ab crunch, it's right there in this joint area. So really cool, and all die cast too. Alright, so we're going to start looking at the thighs. One piece, so they move out. This can move forward, but it's nice because it can rotate individually. This is a flap, can move up. These pieces have some in and out movement, so that's about what you get there. I wish this pulled out or something like that to give it more, but no drop hips or anything like that. So straight, and these are firm but really smooth joints, man. I love it. All right, that's about what you're gonna get back. Outward, okay. Double knees. Look at that. just big die cast. I want to stick a magnet on it. It's beautiful. This figure has so much die cast in it that it's nothing to touch it and have it genuinely feel cold to the touch because there's just so much metal. All right. Now the ankle joints. Boom, boom, boom. Not a lot of room there, but you can go ahead. You saw I just pulled that out, and that's the joint that these instructions are talking about, because when you get it in the box, it's going to be pushed up like that. That's what you're going to do. Transform it to its alt mode as well. It is a very sturdy friction pull, so be careful, use both hands. Don't want to break anything, but yeah, so if you extend it out, lots more room, front and back, and there is movement on the front part of the foot. Alright, and just to give you guys some kind of pose. Alright, get that, I want to get that, and you see this here? You attach the arrow by just pressing outwards. I think I can do this with my finger. Yeah, there's that. And super simple. I love that his fingers can spread. As I've already gleamed about. Alright, so get this zoomed out. Long arrow. Alright, make sure we're in focus there. Okay. And then what's really cool is that there are some effects to it too. Move some of these flares out. I think I've about got them all. If I missed one or two, I apologize, but yeah. Alright, and now we're checking out J-Dur itself. Okay. So to begin the transformation, pop out that part. Alright, there's the head. Okay, so you got that. Alright. The shoulders, I don't remember if, yep, they each come out. And you put them up a notch higher. Alright. So there are two holes. Put them in the higher one. Okay? This piece here, there are also two notches. Put the crest into the lower one. From there, his arms just flip out. Flip out. And then his little hands flip out as well. Right now, what side that's on? Okay. And you see the ball joint there. So from there, it's just the legs. And there we go. You guys are roundabout. Really good detail on this guy. Let me get you a measurement here. About 3 1/4, a little bit over 3 1/4 from what I'm seeing. Okay. Now articulation, no movement in the head. All right. Arms parallel. I mean, they can go up and down. The shoulder's a whole thing. It's popped out of the ball joint there. So that crest is going to block it from going all the way around, but technically it can because it's on the bag. All right. Use that shoulder joint as the bicep swivel. And from there, there's elbow bend, single jointed elbow. It does not want to stay on that ball joint the best. All right. Now waist, you saw there, it is on a ball joint, but because of the sides of the head overlapping, where the waist is here, it does not do a lot of side to side without it wanting to pop off. So that's kind of what it is. Surprisingly, hip skirts here come out, right, to allow for some movement in the legs. See, these front skirts also come up. Just making sure I have them in focus here. So swing, not outward swing, but back, goes back some. Knee, single jointed knee. All right. The thigh swivel is just cap ball joint, so there no actual thigh joint cut. All right, so back and forth, and we've got some side to side. Really good side to side ankle tilt there. So just for the sake of, I guess, something. It's really hard with no head swivel to really get to do anything, especially with the lack of ability to whatever. So even though it has articulation points, it doesn't really do much with them. Looks great, but overall, it's more something, stand still in an A pose. Okay, and before we get into the King J Dare carrier mode, let's go ahead and get into the flight mode, or take a look at the flight mode of J Dare itself. Straighten these fingers out. And honestly, I'm not huge on J Dare itself, more into the King J Dare combined form for both robot and carrier, but it's cool that they include all of this. Of course, it's parts forming, but really simple. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I've got a couple of things underneath it just because, got the fence in back, and then that it'd be slanted down if not. But yeah. Okay, and here we are with the carrier mode. In terms of articulation, nothing really moves around on this thing besides the turrets. They go side to side, up and down, and each of them can go side to side a bit. The barrels themselves, all right? Now, in terms of length for this guy, looking at two back thrusters there. I'd say 13 3/4 inches. That's the length I've got. Of course, not very wide or anything like that. So, ETOF displays and whatnot should be just fine. Now, in terms of how they get the head to be the correct size for the carrier mode, it simply fits inside of the faux head here. Okay. Puts this back on. Top of the head. Locks it in place. And there we go. Still uses the same ball joint as before. We'll get the carrier itself back on here. And for the sides of the head, they have dedicated places on each side here. Let's close up. And focus there. Let's take the head, 2 pegs. That'll guide you, and then of course the ball joint itself. Boom. Okay, there we go. Yeah. And closing this out, here it is next to Sentinels, Amakuni Kizin, Genetic Galgaigar. So that one came out a couple of years ago. This one, relatively new within the past couple of months. Both of these are incredible designs, but I feel like the build quality on this one has upped the game exponentially. So they have a fire mode version of this coming out next month, April 2024, so that'll be up for review soon. But again, closing this out, we're going to keep it to King J Dur. What do I think of it? Incredible product. This is a Sentinel that got me into collecting Sentinel in like 2015, 2016 with the likes of Dan Kuga. What am I thinking of here? Man, oh man. Because Giant Gorg, stuff like that. Their various takes on Get a Robo, like that kind of stuff. Just solid work done in tremendous style. So yeah, highly recommend this one if you're a fan of this mecha, of the series at all. By all means, it's a must-have. But I think even if you aren't, this is something that's going to be appealing to like even crossover fans and stuff like that because of its quality, because of the fact that it transforms, etc., etc. So yeah, this has been another Kuma style review. Sorry about the delay here. Had a couple of other things that I had to get done in between filming this one, but we're here, we're back, doing this full time again, outside of my day job and all that stuff. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. And make sure to check out kumastyle.com for the full written article and gallery for this figure. Thanks.